Imagine a home that Hollywood might cast as the quintessential American dream. Only it's not in California or the Hamptons, but nestled right here on Canada's west coast. This is the Morse House, a cinematic fantasy brought to life on the shores of British Columbia. Here you arrive not just by car, but by float plane or by boat, touching down in 15 minutes from downtown Vancouver and stepping straight into a world where the ocean is your front yard and the mountains anchor your view. It's a place that's played backdrop to Hollywood films like Paramount Pictures' 1999 classic Double Jeopardy with Ashley Judd and Tommy Lee Jones, and the Russia House with Sean Connery and Michelle Pfeiffer. Yet it is deeply rooted in the British Columbian landscape, a landscape that for decades has made possible some of the world's most iconic cinematic dreams. These coastlines and the architects who shaped them have become the quiet, unsung storytellers behind the scenes. Now, as the curtain gently lifts, we see that this dream has always borne a Canadian soul, one that is finally stepping into the light. As one of the previous custodians fondly recalls, it was the first time my father ever walked into a home and said, "I wouldn't change a thing." In winter, we'd watch storms crash against the rocks like we were storm watching in Tofino. In summer, we'd spill out onto the patio and look up toward Black Tusk. Only the most visionary minds could conceive a home like this. Thompson, Berwick, and Pratt Architects, TB&P, the practice that ushered modernism into Vancouver, made this cinematic dream a reality. Founded in 1908, TB&P helped define the skylines and communities of British Columbia and became the training ground for many era-defining architects, including Barry Downs, Arthur Erickson, Fred Hollingsworth, and Ron Thom. The residence spans 21,526 square feet, a mid-century modern family home whose architectural bones balance scale with warmth and livability. This group of leading-edge designers, later described by Arthur Erickson as the Vancouver School, represented the most talented architectural minds in Canada at the time. Yet this project was no solo act. It was commissioned by the Morse family, long said to have ties to the inventors of Morse code. In the hands of these pioneers, the house became one of the firm's final residential works. A bold modernist vision that crossed disciplinary boundaries, drew on cultural expertise, and made the architect a true social alchemist, transforming human aspiration into habitable space. Their work bridged scale and purpose, shaping both city and home. This residence, among their last, stands as a culminating expression of that legacy, one of their most complete realizations of modern living. For more than 40 years, this secluded coastal retreat has been cared for by a devoted patron of the arts. Now, it is ready to welcome its next custodian. Set on more than 23 acres, the Morse House is a rarity of size and privacy. A private dock and nearly 1/2 kilometer of protected shoreline put Howe Sound at your doorstep. Float planes land within minutes from Vancouver, and the sea becomes a daily playground. Perfect for boating, swimming, water skiing, or simply watching whales and eagles drift past. Designed for both intimate and large gatherings, the residence offers expansive indoor-outdoor living spaces for hosting. From summer parties on the decks to fireside winter evenings watching storms roll in. A Richard Hunt totem pole, raised in 1989, adds cultural cachet. A separate guest house allows friends or extended family to stay close while keeping the main home private and serene. Beyond the gates lies Hood Point, a storied island community with regattas, tennis tournaments, and friendships that have flourished for decades. The Hollywood dream is here, and finally revealing its distinctly Canadian soul. An invitation to custodianship, opportunities to become the steward of one of the largest private waterfront parcels in Metro Vancouver are extraordinarily rare. Here, a landmark of modern architecture meets a life nurtured by the sea, mountains, and forest, a place built for gathering, celebrating, and quietly retreating from the world. Those drawn to this stretch of coast are invited to experience the Morse House in person.